Good morning, everyone. 11 o'clock Sydney time. That must be 8 p.m. American time, or 9 p.m. even earlier, maybe even 7 o'clock. Cosmic Marauder is our favourite person today. He's a superstar of New Mexico. Yes, he is. Cosmic Marauder, congratulations, you got yourself a new job. What are you going to do with your Cosmic? You're going to put all the coyotes out of business. Oh. Anyway, good day, good morning, good afternoon, whatever to everybody else. I'm going to put a copy out there. And we'll put it on Twitter. And let's see who else comes in. There's Twitter. Let's put it there on Twitter. And what the Cosmic Show. Congratulations. Anyway, we'll see if he comes back. You never know. He might come back, he might not. Wait for that to send. Although, yeah. Hey, let's talk to them. Let's see if they're on. I don't know, they're still on 54 minutes ago. Let's see if we can break into their channel and say good day. See what happens. Hello. Anyway, I just left a comment over there on this other channel. And I'm seeing what happened. I stand for world peace. How are you? What's doing it there, world peace? What are you doing? I can't watch for a while, but I'm watching. Oh, that sounds different. What does that mean? That's different. Anyway. So, what's happening with world peace? What are you up to? I just dropped in on this other show over there with Jess. What's her name? I can't think of her name. I just seen her up there on Twitter and I just dropped in. Yeah, so Cosmic Rider got himself a job. Isn't that good? I'm very proud of the young man. What do you reckon? World peace? Do you think it's good? You know Cosmic Marauder, don't you? The Cosmic Show. I think you know him, don't you? Somebody's there. I think it's you. I stand for world peace. Are you still with me? I'll put a link up on the chat. If you want to come in briefly, you can come in if you want. Oh, I've got to wait. Oh, wait, I've got to go. See you next live stream live. Oh, okay, I'm going to cry. All right. Okay, see you next live stream. Just out of curiosity, before you go, where are you again? USA, aren't you? I think. Somewhere? He's a very good guy. He's a great guy. I stand for world peace. Anyway, live stream links there on the chat. You can find it. Anybody can find it. It should come up on your text. If you scroll up, you'll find it. Bye, world peace. Have a good day. Or good evening over there, I think. It's 11:07 a.m. over here in Eastern Australian time. I'm just going to go see if I can interrupt on this other show for a minute. I'll click on her. And I'm going to see if, I don't know if this is coming through. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I've been out to lunch. Oh, you're back. Oh, no, I'm not touching myself. No, I was listening to another stream. Hang on a sec. I'll come right back out to lunch. I just got to tell them where I am. Right, so we're watching the King of the Queens on TV. Out. Ooh, that's painful. All right, okay, well, I'm back. I left them a note. Okay, what have we got? Hey, young man, what you talking about? Raining? Oh, yeah, it just rained right now. How are you? Stiff knee. Went down the street, got some money off some people having money. You touching yourself? No, I'm too old for that. I get peanut butter. I'll let the dog do it. We're watching King of the Queens on TV. Oh, King of the Queens. Yes, I love that TV show. Big fat guy and his little skinny wife. Can you sort stuff in your... What? What? Oh, whatever. Anyway, you want to join in? Click the link. I'll put it up again for you. I just told them I'm over here with a very special guest on another girl's show. And I said, Homie's over here with a very special guest. And you out to lunch? That's who it is. So do you want to come in? That's my life. What, out to lunch? Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I've got Howard Rourke. He might drop in. Mr. Scott might come in. Is Mr. Scoot. And we'll see whoever else wants to come in. So, how you been out to lunch? Did you have a good night's sleep? Have a good day at work? I actually woke up 6 o'clock, 5 hours ago. Ticket car went past. All that sort of crap. You coming on? So me talking to myself with a big set of headphones on. You would have finished work by now, would you? You see, I can't hear the coffee through the microphone. Anyway, so how was work? Out to lunch? How'd it go? Mm? Oh man, yeah. Look, I've actually got a flannel. You can say that. Look, I've actually got a flannelette shirt on. Look, yeah, the rain. It's cooled it down a bit. He's gone. He was there. He's gone. Right, yeah. I scared him off. Oh, I think this guy's just done it. Howard Rourke done something to me. Anybody else coming on? Are you back? Someone's there. Now he's back. At lunch, Mr. Scott, Howard. Now he's there. Just talking to somebody else, and now I don't know what's going on. Oh, Eddie's out to lunch. Hello. Good morning.
Well, yeah, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, right?
11:20 in the morning over here, and the rain just stopped, and now the sun's coming out again.
Yeah, it's 8:30 here p.m. and it just started raining. It was a beautiful, beautiful day today. Other than it was cloudy, but it was still a nice day, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you believe when I finished the stream last night, I sat there and I rewatched our whole stream together.
Get them
And
views up.
yeah,
This is a
I did. I enjoyed listening back to it, and I missed a few things, so I kept getting changed off the subject.
right.
Um, you know, because sorry.
I was telling my wife because there's a compost thing that you set on the counter of your kitchen, and you put your food scraps in. I mean, we can't compost everything. We try to that we collect or feed to the chickens, but they have a electric composter you set on your counter. Lumi, I imagine it's $100 or so. Yeah. I wonder
Hello,
if
hello, wife.
she's she's the one that was snoring last night. He said
Don't say that. Don't dob her in.
he said
Uh,
is that your wife's snoring?
Stop it.
you maybe one
can
day.
she hear me? Can she actually hear me at the moment?
Yes,
Right. Yeah. Well,
somewhat.
I was sitting there last night talking to him, and he's just saying a couple of words in here. I thought, is he breaking wind? And then next thing I know,
Well, it could be that too. Could be
no,
that.
no, you don't break wind into harmony. And I went, no. And I thought, so I was like, oh, no, it's his wife. So you don't worry. I had,
Yesterday
I,
they worked her
I
hard.
had I had a carer used when I was a quadriplegic. And remember, I think I told you 163 kilos.
Right.
And the funny thing is that the shape of the house means he couldn't stay anywhere else. He had to sleep in my room, and I'll be lying there asleep, and next thing this, and I reach over from my bed and I put my hand over his nose like this. I got that there, and next thing you know, you hear this.
Well, we may speak different languages, but I guess we pretty much all snore the same.
Yeah, you and I got somebody watching this. There's somebody coming on the chat, so
Alert her.
ever watching us.
Uh,
Hey, or do you have your TV on?
I have my TV on. It's a commercial,
I
right?
love your
No,
TV.
it's
Come on, that's all. Well, no, well they're gone now. Whoever they were, I don't know.
uh,
I just got another one of these.
Sir?
What was that?
She was decompressing.
I make all sorts of noises.
Yeah, we're loud. We loud at home.
Well, you ought to tell her about my housemate who's got Asperger's. I mean, he sits here and makes all sorts of noises.
I think
she found out last night.
She got a broken ass that has a crack in it, at least.
Got a
We
what?
joke.
With a crack in it?
She has a crack in it. It's broke.
It's broke.
In what?
Yeah. Her butt. Her butt has a crack in it.
Oh.
Yeah. It's almost broke. Let's get a new one.
You said her butt. I didn't realize you said that. I thought you said something like a gas bottle or something. I'm going, what? Sorry, no, that's all right. Oh, goodness me. Well, what a day. I went down and picked up old Jeffrey today. He's just made a little video. You can see down on my channel, you see a pair of black socks on his legs, and I picked him up and took him down the street and done his banking with him, and I had to get him to walk up 10 stairs to get into the bank.
Oh.
And his legs are swollen up like big as my hands, as you can see on the camera. And he's in absolute agony. And then when he gets in there, does all the bullshit. She turned around and says, "Oh, I could have bought you the piece of paper outside at the car and signed it." "Oh, sorry, Jeffrey." And I just went like this, opened my eyes up like this, and Jeffrey just looked at me and went, "You know how much bloody pain you put me through?" You know, all she had to do was walk out the stairs with a piece of paper. No, actually, not even sign a piece of paper. Because they let him, because he can't go in, they know him personally for however many decades. And they just walk out from the bank. This is a total different thing about Australia compared to America. They walk out from the bank, two staff members walk up to the car window, one is a witness for the other teller, and he says, can I have all my money out of the bank from his pension? Because, I mean, he's only got a pension. He's got nothing in the bank now. He
Right.
just empties it out. And then he
Right.
says, and then the first hiccup was he said, I want to give my daughter $200. Can I transfer it? And she said, well, if you want to transfer it, you've got to come and sign a piece of paper. Then we transfer it on the keyboard on the account. Unless you've got a mobile phone, you can transfer it on your phone. And I turned around and said, well, Jeffrey doesn't have that sort of phone. I said, he's got an old little tiny little, yeah, not even the flip phone. It's, a little Alcatel, what we call it, Alcatel.
Or like our Nokias.
Yeah, it's just looks like the keypad on my TV remote.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, okay. And then after we get inside for him to fill out the piece of paper, the transfer to his account, she said, oh, well, what you could have done was when you just took all your money out, give me back $200 cash, give her a ring, get her account number off her, and I'll just put it straight in her bank, because then you don't need to sign anything because you're just depositing it. You're not trying to get it out.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when Jeremy was saying, well, why didn't you tell me that when I was out in the car? Why did you make me walk all the way in here and then now tell me? It's too late. The horse is already out the gate. He's already walked up the stairs. He's already killed himself, and he's there. I mean,
they don't have a drive-through. They don't have a drive-through at that point.
No, we don't have any drive-throughs in any banks in Australia.
Really?
Nope.
Well, that's a good invention. Bring it up because it works. I mean, hey, how are you going to rob a bank from out there at the drive-through? It's like inviting all the criminals to come inside. Well, they have to
No.
We used to drive. Do you have tellers?
Too. No, they don't even have glass shields in front of the tellers over here.
Well, no,
because
like a teller machine, like a cash machine. Do you have cash machines where you put your card in?
We have ATMs, automatic teller machines, outside the banks, yes.
But no drive-throughs.
No drive-throughs. I'll tell you how they do it.
Yeah.
We have, and I'll show you. I'll show you a card, which I'll cover a little bit of detail on. So any scammers won't get it. Right, that is a Commonwealth key card. And we have MasterCard, and it has a chip on the back. See that silver chip? Yeah. And that reads it. And that bar there holds all your details. And that's what they call skimming, when they skim it through the machine, when you... Right. And you scan it, and then you put in your
PIN number.
Yep, right.
Yep.
Well, what they were doing, they were going around. These Romanians were having a skimming machine
and putting it on the front of the ATM.
Yep, same as what you had over there. But they also had Romanian cab drivers or Uber drivers and all these sorts of people. And you say, here, driver, I'll pay by card. And as they put the hand over, cab driver picks it, puts it over his shoulder, puts it down to his right, because we drive on the right-hand seat, and down the right of his hip, he'd skim it through the skimmer, and then he'd bring his hand... So you bring it down like this in the skimming machine, drop it down his side, and then he'd pick up the EFTPOS machine and stick it in. And then he'd give him the card, and then the guy would beep the PIN number, but the PIN number is already on the back of the card. So when they take the skimming machine back to their flat or hotel room, it gives them all the PIN numbers and everything else. And then they can just turn around and take the money out. Right. So what we do now is that most people have on their accounts on your app on your phone, you can set amount of money per day, or to set a certain amount of money per transaction. And in Australia, how often?
Huh.
So you could set it for 1 hour apart.
Oh.
So if you lose your card, you know you got 1 hour before they can reuse it.
Right. Okay.
See?
Yeah.
And then also on your phone, you can suspend your card. Or
Right.
you
So
can
it can't be
cancel,
used.
and you can cancel the card and reorder a new card on the phone.
Oh.
You don't have to go into the bank. The banks don't do very much at all anymore. And how the tellers work, the Commonwealth Bank in, say, St Mary's, where I used to live, used to have 8 staff tellers. Now they have 2, because now they have three teller machines outside the first glass doors as you walk in, which is take out money. Then you have one teller machine which lets you deposit, because not many people put money in because everybody transfers it electronically.
Right.
And then they have the 5th machine. This is going to blow your mind. You put in your card and you can put in coins.
Oh, really? Oh.
You can put up to 500 coins into it.
And it would put it on your card?
Mm-hmm. So you can have 500 $1 coins and it will count it. You just pour it into the basket and it goes clink, 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 and watch it go down the basket. You know, like those fishing trawler baskets. So then where the fish slide down into the, and the coins go ding, 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 and you can self-deposit coins. And it doesn't matter what sort of coin. It could be a 5 cent, 10 cent, 20 cent, 50 cent, $1 or $2. It sorts it out automatically, and it goes automatically into your bank. And then it says to you, this amount of money, any rejected coins come down the bottom. So then you push confirm and deposit, and then that goes straight into your bank straight away. No waiting 3 days or anything like that. Bang, it's there because it's already got the money. Then the coins that it's rejected, you can check them. And we have the problem of New Zealand and Singaporean money is the same size as our 10-cent piece. And it's their Singaporean 10-cent size thing is actually 5 cent. And the New Zealand 10 cent is 10 cent. But it's a little bit different. It's a little bit out of shape, but it's still the same currency rate. So what you do then, you walk inside to an ATM teller machine lady, and they say, that's all right, we'll just take it off your hands. We'll give you back the 10 cents because that's what you got it for. It's only worth 10 cents. But then they put it in as an overseas deposit in their machine.
Inside, right.
You're inside. So if somebody comes in and said, I'm going to New Zealand, I want 5 New Zealand money, they've got a little supply of New Zealand money there. And that's how they give it back to New Zealand. They keep it in each branch. Every branch in Australia of every bank has got overseas money that's coming off the street.
I don't think we have that here. I don't think you can change, like if you had some Mexican money, I don't think it's good here. I don't think you can do it through the bank.
Well,
but I've never tried.
Well, the other thing we have too is that the tellers, they don't stand there with nothing in front of them. They've just got a counter,
right,
and they've got a computer screen, a keyboard.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
They don't have the tower. That's locked away in a cupboard. And when you say you want, say, $500 cash, she says, swipe your card, same as you do at an ATM machine. They get the little black thing you have like in the shop.
Right.
And they swipe your card, you put in your PIN number, and there's a an ATM, what I call a vertical ATM machine, money dispensing machine, and it would be about, I'm just trying to think, converting 18 inches across, 18 inches deep, and about high as your nipple. And it's got a little trap door, and that's where the cash comes out, and you can say $500, and you hear it, and it goes, boom, pops out $500. So all the money is in a safe behind the teller lady. It's bolted into the concrete. It's part of the bank. It's the same as an ATM machine.
Yeah.
It's an ATM machine, but it only gives out notes. And then if you want coins, she just takes it out of the drawer, and she just, because we know bank robbers aren't going to grab $1,000 worth of $1 coins because it'll weigh a ton.
Well, somewhere someone stole $1 million worth of dimes, or $1 million dimes or something. I forget what it was.
And what happened? The car broke down and broke an axle?
They stole it. I don't know. Stole $1 million worth of dimes.
Well, this one will make you laugh. They had the greatest long weekend Chinese New Year, Easter weekend, or some long weekend, and it's now a restaurant or something in George Street, Sydney. Yeah. And this is one thing I still don't like. Every city has a Chinatown.
Yeah.
Because like America, when you built your railways across America, who did they bring over? Chinese.
Chinese, yeah.
So many Chinese, thousands of Chinese died building the railway line across America. Yeah. Well, we had the same thing out here. We had Chinese out here, gold prospecting out here, and they got murdered. So the Chinese then turned around and said, "Oh, right, we're going to go do into laundromat and cooking and food and come waiters, and they're then going to let the white man do all the hard work, and they'll get paid." You see, but we didn't treat them like America. We didn't, just shoot them like a pesky coyote. We just said, "Oh no, he's still human rights." We didn't. It's a funny thing. We treated our Aboriginals disgustingly. We took their children off them and everything else, and yet we brought in Chinese and we let them set up their own towns in towns. Like if you go down to Bendigo in Victoria, that was actually the biggest gold rush in Australia's history. And so many Chinese come over from China, come down into Melbourne, and Melbourne was originally the first capital city of Australia. And it was called the capital city of Australia because everybody was going to Melbourne and then going out to a place called Bendigo. And that American guy you got up there in Alaska, that young kid with a funny name, and his grandfather died, and he does the gold mining. I can't think of his name at the moment. He's got a funny name. He started off when he was about 16, and he was about 26 or something, and he came out here to Australia, and he done a story there on the History Channel, and they said, "Oh, Gold Rush, I think it is Gold Rush. I think you know the one I mean. Gold Rush, the one.
Is it a show?
Yeah, TV show, Gold Rush.
I think is it a like a documentary or is it?
No, it's a real life following story of that young guy up in Alaska.
Gold mining. Gold mining. Is he?
Gold mining. Yeah. And
mining,
he open cuts and he goes into previous cut mines and
right. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah. Well, he come out here, and he was typical American. I just had to laugh. I could not help laughing. He had a gorgeous, beautiful blonde 22-year-old girl with him, and he's sitting there wearing his great big American shorts. and you dropped out. Something happened. Anyway, so she comes out and she says to him, "Oh, why don't you come in there for a swim?" And he just sat there and looked stunbound on camera. He just went, "What? Me going in the water for a swim? I'm from Alaska. I'm not used to going for a swim. Because he's used to Alaska. He's sitting out there in the Australian outback, and you can imagine the difference in heat for him from -40 to now standing in, say, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
Yeah.
And he's got this beautiful blonde girl says, "Come in here for a swim," and she strips off down to a bikini, and he's just sitting there and his eyes are all like,
He was amazed.
hey?
Yeah, he was amazed.
He was amazed at this because he's used to American women over in Alaska. They always got their clothes on. It's too damn
Right.
cold. And he sees this girl get out of bikini. It was so funny. And she says, "You coming in for a swim?" So what's he do? He takes off his shirt. He leaves his T-shirt on.
Yeah.
And he jumps in there wearing a pair of King G work shorts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, you see the other camera people there. They say, "Oh, bugger that." And one guy jumped in there starkers. Because they're Australian. They're used to it. See, because 40-degree heat,
It's very, it's
100
very hot.
degrees Fahrenheit, you
Yeah.
can get a wet pair of wringing out shorts, soaking wet. It's that hot out there. And you can put them on a rock, and within, say, 10 minutes,
They'll
you'll
be
see
dry.
the steam coming up. The heat of the rock will just steam the water out of the pair of work shorts, like King G sort of, I don't know what sort of shorts you wear over there, but the ones with the big tradies wear, the tradesmen sort of shorts with the big thick pockets. Well, yeah, they dry out in about 10 minutes because of the heat. And he's just sitting there gobsmacked. Anyway, this girl, she said, I do like you, And he's sort of like, he goes bright red. And, oh, mate, it was so funny watching him on the show. I loved to see what happened off camera, but what was filmed on camera, that was hilarious.
But he was in Australia when that happened.
They took him out to Bendigo, and he said, and they turned around and they said, "Oh, come in here to the Gold Museum." And he walks in there and he looks over and he goes and he sees this great big gold boulder, right?
Oh, right.
And it's massive. It's sitting on the table, and it says the largest piece of gold ever discovered in Australia.
Oh.
And it was an exact mold copy of the actual block of gold,
Oh, right.
And he just sat there and his mouth went,
Yeah.
like this. He said, "I wish I could find that up in the Yukon."
Yeah.
Because it was the biggest piece of gold ever found in the world, I believe.
Wow.
So he done there. He went down to Bendigo, and then they said, "Come on, we'll go out and you find you some free gold." And he goes, What do you mean? I've got to get permits, don't you? Like in America, you got to have a license, you got to have a contract, you got to have, so like all the American rigmarole,
Right.
phosphate. And they said no, and they just put him in a forward drive, and they said, "There you go. Here's a shovel, here's a bucket of water, here's a metal detector," and he's going on there with a metal detector out in the Australian bush, and he's picking up bits of gold.
Yeah.
About this big, still
Wow.
in the bush, 200 years since the gold prospectors already been through there, but they would have missed it with the open eye. They didn't have a metal detector, did they?
Mm-hmm. Right.
They used to have to by eyesight.
By eyesight,
metal detector picks it up, and he's sitting there, and he's walking along, and he says, "I can't believe this. I'm picking up gold off the top of the ground."
Well, why?
And he's absolutely mind blowing. And he's going, I said, and they're going, "Yeah, Australia's full of gold. You just got to know where to look. And then they took him up into Queensland to another mining outfit. And they said, oh, we're going to sell out. We'll sell you the mine for a year. You can come over here for a year. And he went out there and he was just blown away, absolutely blown away. The non-bullshit you got to go through in Australia to go mine gold. You don't need a license. You don't need a contract. You don't need anything. You can just get yourself a metal detector and you can go out to some part of Australia. And what you do, you check with the local
make sure it's public property.
Public property. And then you check with the gold authority and you say, look, I want to go gold prospecting. They might say, oh, okay, that is a designated area. You can have a permit there for 1 month or 7 days, and it might cost you $100.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't do that.
He, in America, was paying 10,000 or 100,000.
Right.
He got it for $100 or $50 for a day.
Yeah.
And he said, $50 for 1 day. And of course, he goes out there, beep, beep, puts it in the bag, beep, puts it in the bag, beep. He goes back, cashes it in. He made $800. So what's $50?
Right. Yeah, that's a good return.
It's sitting on top of the ground. Yeah. Oh, mate, there's so much fun over here.
Yeah, if I had a road there, I might come. It's only 1,000 miles or something like that, as the crow flies.
Yeah. Well, whereabouts are you exactly again? Where are you?
Northeast Mississippi. Now, I kind of did, it may be more than 1,000 miles, but I thought I did Google Maps and I went to around where you're at, on that east side of Australia.
Yeah,
and it was it was I think it was 1,000 something miles, but it went down. It's funny how Google Maps will do it. It won't let me go all the way to the Antarctica. But
I suppose because nobody's been down there. See how Google Maps works, which you're probably going to think I'm pulling your leg, but I'll pull it up and I'll show you. Google Maps was originally bought by Google. Sylvester Stallone, what happened to him? Hang on.
Right.
I don't know. Something just come up on my phone. Anyway, Google Maps. That's what I'm typing. Creator. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
I found a couple glitches in pictures of some places. Like there's a radar speed thing at one place on the bypass. It tells you your speed because you need to slow down to about 40 because of a curve, real sharp curve. And it has the picture shows two of those signs. I probably could find that.
Right. Now I'll put this up the camera so you can read this for yourself.
All right.
Google Maps.
Yeah.
Right, started at C something. I'm trying
C++
to
programming. Yeah. That's code.
Right. Wait a minute. Divided by two brothers. Lars and Jens, as command, right?
Yeah.
And here comes the big bit. This is going to blow your mind. Sydney.
A Sydney-based company?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sydney, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
With two technologies, and they were the company where I worked at.
Oh, really?
So that Google map you're looking at was designed by Raywood and SigTech, SIGTEC, Signal
Okay.
Technology.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was a cab driver way back in 95, they used us to align the satellites with the roads.
Right.
So where you now see your blue dot, where you're exactly standing inside your house instead of being out on the road. And if you look at your Google map and the blue dot shows where you are,
Right.
that's because of what I did with 10 other guys.
Oh,
And what we did, we drove around in a taxi and we stopped in, I'll say, for example, Pitt Street in Eddie Avenue and Rawson Square in Sydney. That's where it all was done, Sydney. And it was all prelude to the 2000 Olympic Games. Again, I did the wheelchairs for the 2000 Olympic Games. This is another thing I was doing before I got the wheelchair job. And what we did was I'd pull up and I'd have the new SigTech radio and it'd show city southeast, right?
Yeah.
And then the old-fashioned two-way radio you talk on saying, hello, base car 47, right, that sort of radio.
right.
They call me in on that and they say, where are you exactly? And I said, I'm in the first lane next to the traffic island and on the first car at the traffic light.
Right.
On Pitt Street, facing north with Eddie Avenue on my right and Rawson Square on my left.
Right.
And they look at them and they said, well, that's funny. The satellite is showing you sitting halfway between lane 1 and lane 2, but two car spaces back, which is about 5 meters or 5 yards. So they then type on the computer and move the dot exactly to where I would be.
Right.
And they align the satellites. And that's why that mobile phone of yours, they can pinpoint you exactly, as I say, to half a meter to where you are. Because that's what they used, was the antenna was dead center in the roof of the taxi.
Right. Right.
So it's equal all four corners.
I use Google Maps for what I do during the day. My avatar shows that that glitch in the camera at that place. I don't know if you can see it.
Hang on.
But
on your screen.
Yeah, my avatar.
I'll just have a look.
See, it shows two of those speed cameras, but the shadow only shows one on the ground.
Hang on a sec. I've got to blow it up. So I got a little picture about this big on the computer.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And you can see the shadow of the Google car itself.
Yeah. What that is, that's not the satellite. That's a Google Earth Street View. And what that is, they got a meter high or 1 yard high pole mounted on a little tiny car. And what they got is approximately, I think it's 12 cameras, or what they call total circular panoramic camera.
Right.
And
360 camera.
And yeah, one camera shoots that way and one camera shoots that way over each other. You see? And that's how they keep going around the car. So as the two different fields cross, that's why you get that double image, because it might be just that little bit too close. And then the computer's trying to work out which one to look at. But when it's a distance shot, it's only then in the field of one camera. Is that making sense?
Kinda.
All right, I'll do it this way. I'll show you. This is 2 camera views, right? So this camera is pointing that way. This camera points over that one, right? And then the next camera would point over the top of that one. It's like, I know, Chinese fan, Japanese fan.
Yeah, a Japanese.
You know how they cross over the bits of paper at the bottom
Yeah.
on a Japanese fan? And then when it gets out so far, then the paper's separate on a Japanese fan?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They overlap at the hinge point, which is where the camera is in the dead center of the car.
There we go. I think that blew it up more.
Now? Yeah. So if you get one of those Japanese fans or Chinese fans, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I think I blew it up even more. Yeah.
So what else is happening over there in your world?
We have a tornado in Texas going on. I was watching it because the weather may get bad tonight.
Well, what do you think is going to happen?
There's Mr. Hominoid.
What?
I found your. I only have internet, so what I watch is either YouTube or sometimes Rumble. I watch a few shows on Rumble. Rumble.
Oh, well, I'm actually on Rumble as well.
You post stuff on Rumble?
Yeah, I've only got about 3 or 4 videos there, I think, or something. When I left the old workhouse, it's Rumble password and all that's in the tower computer in the trailer back down in Sydney. So up here I can't use it because this, as I keep saying, this is a brand new laptop. So everything is down in Sydney and the 2 tower computers I got down there and all the TV sets and all the other stuff and the computer chair and the chair I used to sit on, that's all down there. So
yeah.
When I come up here, I just put up 2 bags of suitcases because I had my left leg worked on and I couldn't carry much. So I threw 2 suitcases in the boot of the car. I didn't worry about computers. So I've gone out, I bought this camera, I bought this laptop, I bought that keyboard, I bought, not a keyboard, this headphone set, I bought another TV set. I spent just over nearly $1,500 in one day just to give myself something because I didn't realise, what are we going to do now? Oh, shit, I left everything in the trailer.
Yeah.
I should have went and took it out of the trailer before I went and had surgery, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You see, I just thought, I'll be right. I'll just get up and walk around. I'll come back and get it. No, it wasn't that way at all. I was bedridden and everything else, and that's what happened. Well, I'm going to give you a surprise. I changed the heading to chatting with Outtolunch.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate
why not? Yeah, I was hoping to be talking to Cosmic Marauder, but he never come on. So,
do you watch any different channels? Is there any specific channels you enjoy watching?
On YouTube, yes, Jack and Howard.
Jack and Howard. I get the link to that.
How do I send that to you?
I think you could
they
put it.
They call themselves something different now. They call themselves the something. Starts with A. If Howard come in there, if Howard listening, no, he's not there.
What do they talk about?
Everything from transgenders to politics to
Iraq.
Not Iraq, to Russia, Ukraine, to any sort of subject. The autonomous zone. And that's you can find me over there. It's where's that bloody heading? Oh, hang on. What's up?
I'm watching the whistleblower. Something about a whistleblower.
Yeah. Well, they're called the autonomous zone. You get your pen ready so you can write it down. The THE autonomous AUTONOMOUS auto like automobile auto.
Yeah.
No NO.
Yeah.
And then like mouse like it's MOUS without the E on the end.
MOUS.
And then it's called, and then it should come up autonomous zone. It's Howard and Jack, and I started living crap out of Jack, and he said, "Oh, humanoid," and you can see an interview I done there with him about where I travel around and what I did there the other day. It's autonomous zone series number 19.
What did you teach them? What did you teach them?
I just something I teach you. Talk about Australia.
Australia, yeah.
Yeah, Australia and the solar powered train, the only solar powered train in the world, and there was no kangaroos out there in the bush. And I sit out in the bush, like I said to you, I could stand there out in this rest area, and you can scream out and go. And I said, "Jack, Howard, Jack," and there's no echo. It's just absolutely dead. It's just oh god, these stupid things come in with these. I keep getting these scammers keep sending me stuff saying your parcel is waiting to be delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get parcels delivered. I don't have anybody sending me any parcels. I just don't accept anything from anybody. If I want something, I go down and buy it myself. Yeah, so I made a video up there for them, Byron Bay solar powered train. It's the only solar powered train in the world. Solar cells are up on the roof, runs down, charges up the batteries. You see the batteries underneath the bottom of the train. And as the train goes past, you can see the batteries, and then you see where the second diesel engine is, or the first one, and that's turned off. And it's only there in case the train breaks down. So if they want to, they can take the train back into the workshop. They can take all the solar cells off the roof. They can take out the electric traction motors, take it all away, and put back in the other diesel engine and gearbox and tail shaft and reconnect it back to being a two engine diesel train. If they want to, because they got the second motor and gearbox sitting over there in the shed where they park the train each night at Byron Bay.
Well, you know, the government's pushing to have all the military vehicles electric. That just sounds, in America, yeah. That sounds
it sounds stupid, but think of the cost they're going to save on oil and having to import fuel from overseas. But I was under the impression, actually, America, if you really wanted to, you wouldn't have to buy crude oil from overseas. Is that true? Doesn't Texas and all them still produce enough? Right.
Oil? They would, but Biden, his first day, shut all that production down, is what I understand.
What, he stopped Texas pumping oil?
Pumping oil, yeah. And closed down the pipeline, so you have to ship it in tankers.
Why?
Because he's trying to destroy America, I think. I think he works for the deep state.
I mean, if those pipelines have been there for so long, what's his ideology? Is he thinking somebody's going to come along there and blow them up? Is he thinking the pipes are too old and they should be replaced?
No.
Why have more trucks on the road? I mean, I know for a fact America has got the biggest bridge problem in the world.
No.
All your road bridges in America, from my understanding,
well, we have that
was built after World War II.
The Buttigieg is
Oh, no, it's
the
not you. It's me. I've got to move my
Secretary
knee.
of Transportation. He was the mayor, and he said the potholes in his town were worse than as bad. And then they put him as transportation secretary.
Say that again. The mayor of where? What? I
Um,
missed.
our transportation secretary,
Yeah.
the head
Oh,
guy
what for the
was
state
the
or for
mayor.
the whole of America?
He was, yeah, for transportation. He's the one that should be investigating the train derailments, uh, and stuff like that.
You're the
But
second American that's asked me in the last 2 days why are all the trains derailing in America?
uh,
I have
there's
I
one.
have Mr. Scott on here.
Uh,
Mr. Scott 79.
Jason, is that the
Hey,
one? Does he have a J in it too?
yeah, I think so. What do you
Yeah, I
know
think
him?
so, yeah. Yeah. No, I just seen his text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and he's got a real young sort of voice, sort of accent. I really love his accent. To me, it's just a great accent. Like I like your accent too. I suppose you'd probably find my one a bit funny too, but I mean the way we say things. Um, like I mean, you can always tell an Australian and a Kiwi apart. You know how you do that?
No.
You put a sheep out in front of an Australian and a Kiwi, and you see the Kiwi will get a smile on his face.
Uh, I'm not really sure what a kiwi is. Is it like
New
a?
Zealander,
Oh,
a
oh,
New
I didn't know.
Zealander. Their emblem is the Kiwi bird. It's
Oh,
a little short bird, and it's called the Kiwi.
oh,
And then their football team is called the All Blacks because all their footballers basically used to always be black Maoris, and they do the haka, which is a big
yeah. Okay.
when they
Right.
go to play rugby league.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
haka, Haka, haka. You
Okay.
can Google it on YouTube. You have a look at haka, and you see and they wear the big face masks and they paint their faces up and they stick their tongues out and they go
Before they play a game,
before they play the football. And
football. Yeah.
the whole idea is to intimidate you before you play the
Right.
game,
Right. I
because
would think that might.
that's why they do it. They wear all the big original, because that's what the Maoris used to do.
Oh,
People don't realise that Maoris in New Zealand were hated by the Tongans, the Tongan Islanders, north of New Zealand, because was it the other way around, Tongans or the Maoris? I think it was the Tongans. Oh yeah, I think it was. Yeah, the Tongans were the cannibals, and they used to row their big long canoes
mhm.
from Tonga because they were short of food. Tonga's just a very small island, and they didn't have enough food, so they'd eat people. They were cannibals, and
Right.
they'd row down to New Zealand, and the Maoris would be like the Australian Aboriginals, just walking around, sleeping down by the beach, or and they first were sleeping on the sand, up, like they're sitting up there by the head of the sand dune sort of thing, sound asleep. And these Tongans will pull up in the boats in the in the
Yeah.
waves, get out of
Yeah.
the boats really quietly, walk up to the Maoris, hit them over the head with a block of wood, knock them out and kill them, and put them in the boat, and then take them back to Tonga and cut them up and
Feed
eat them.
feed the family. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, feed the family. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
cannibals. Tongans are cannibals. So
Yeah.
if you ever meet a bunch of Tongans in America,
Don't ask
they
for
say,
what's for dinner.
hey, no, don't ask them around for dinner because they say, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
No, we still have a lot of trouble. with Tongans here in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, we do. It's still one of the most. The Maoris work over here all right. We get a lot of Maori workers, the most quiet, peaceful, pacifist sort of people we could ever meet.
Can you tell the difference between them?
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah,
Oh,
different colour, brown skin, different body build. Tongans are bigger, solid, big, thick, solid. Maoris aren't as big.
do
And
they get the
Tongans.
kuru from? Do they eat the brains? I wonder. They say.
Well, this was hundreds of years ago, but yeah.
Well,
But we still had. It was a Maori. It was a Tongan actually that kicked the young Belgian backpacker out of the Byron Bay, out of the restaurant there. He said, "Oh, you're drunk. You got to get out." And the little Belgian backpacker got up and left the pub, and he then decided he's going to walk down the beach, and that's a story I did way down on my channel, Theo Hayes. And he went down the water, went for a swim, and he got washed out the sea, and he got eaten by sharks. So
that's the story. Do you think Tonga come got him?
no. Tongans. That was 200 or 300 years ago.
Yeah, but
no. What the point I'm making is that the Tongans are very, don't try and stand over me. I'll tell you off. They go around in groups of 3s and 4s. They hang around only with Tongans. Very family strong, close knit. Same as Maoris, same as Aboriginals. Aboriginals won't mix with Maoris. Aboriginals won't mix with Tongans. Tongans definitely won't mix with Maoris, and vice versa.
Right.
Maoris won't mix with Aboriginals unless they're on a work site, and when they've got to talk to each other. And even then, it's sort of limited what they'll say. Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, okay, righto. Yes, mate. That's it. But they won't sit down and say, "Oh, come round to my place for dinner."
Right.
I
wonder if they have any cannibal tendencies, though.
Who? Tongans?
Yeah.
Well,
even
they reckon they don't anymore. But I mean, it makes you wonder sometimes, because you watch the news in Tonga, and they still have riots. And I mean, they still pull out a bloody club, and they still pull out automatic weapons.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the news,
they seem to be a violent people.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've only got to look. You can do it on YouTube. You can Tonga News. Type in Tonga News, Tonga, Tonga News.
Yeah.
And you'll see different things where they've had a riot or an upheaval, and the way they smash shop windows, and the way how they drive around in cars hanging off the back, and then they send the Australian Army goes in there to quiet them down, and the Tongan government says, "Oh, send in the Australian Army or the Australian Federal Police," and of course the Australian Navy takes them over or flies them in, and then the Australian Navy pulls up over there with a bunch of Australian Army guys, and then they drive around patrolling the streets for a couple of months or a year, until whatever the problem was, might be political or whatever, then they settle down again, or an earthquake or a typhoon or something like that. And that's what I was saying about how China is trying to get all these island countries around us. See, what America doesn't realise is that we have got over 1,000 island countries around us. 1,000 island countries. They're not all Australian islands.
Oh, okay.
There's 1,000 different prime ministers, 1,000, well, maybe not quite 1,000, but, I mean, mate, I couldn't even think how many Pacific Islands. Something I've never ever done. All right, let's have a Google. I'll go into Google and I'll just say Australia's surrounding island, I'm saying the words, I know exactly what nations, and then I wrote the word list. Right, and it comes up and it says Australia's running on national list surrounding a set of Australia's territory, including the island Papua New Guinea. There's the Bismarck, BISMARCK archipelago, 4 independent countries: Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, the French dependency, New Caledonia.
Yeah.
And that's not even coming across there saying Tonga or anything else. That's not even come up with Tonga or Samoa or any of them. That's just there are 14 countries in Oceania, which Oceania is the top of Australia. Just how many countries I should have. How many Pacific Island nations are there? 15. There are 15 independent Pacific Island nations, in addition to tens of thousands of islands, inlets, and atolls. The independent nations are Northern Mariana Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, Pacific Islands 2020 World Population Review. What is the closest island country to Australia? Vanuatu, 2 hours 30 minutes flying time, direct from Brisbane. Vanuatu is one of Australia's closest inland neighbours and a nation of contrast. 8th of November 22. 5 dream destinations in the South Pacific. 5 Brisbane Airport. Vanuatu, 2 hours 30 minutes flying from Brisbane to Vanuatu. There's what island is near Australia and New Zealand? There's a group of islands between Australia and New Zealand. Then you got New Caledonia Islands, which is the one mentioned in McCall's Navy. What tropical islands? There's Badara Island, also known as Richards Island, a largely unknown tropical island getaway. The Mysterious Island. What is the prettiest island? And there's Rottnest Island, Kagari Forest Fraser Island, Hamilton Island, Lord Howe Island, Tiwi Island, Phillip Island, with Sunday Islands, Bruni Island. All these islands,
right,
all going to be covered by our military.
right.
If something happens, that's what I said, we've got over 1,000 islands. I remember that because I remember doing a quiz question. They said, what's the quiz question? It's multiple choice, over 200, 400, 500, 700, or 1,000. And I put over 1,000. I was being a smart ass and it come back as correct. And I went, oh, shit.
Well, you have to have a person for each island, right?
Yeah, well, see, that's the whole thing what China's trying to do to Australia. They were trying to get their foot in the door somewhere on some island where there's already established water, food, petrol, gasoline, infrastructure. See? Now, unfortunately, pardon me. Geez, that came up well. We are sinking in the Pacific Islands. We're sinking. They're going underwater. And people don't realise it. We got documentaries on ABC. Oh, actually, I found you a video last night. What we were talking about. And I thought, how the hell am I going to send it to you? So what I did was I played a little bit of it and I kept the name of it because I knew you were going to ask me. We've had a bloke fallen off a cruise ship apparently. He left Brisbane, went to Vanuatu, and they're heading for Hawaii, and he's fallen overboard last night. 1,500 kilometres south of Hawaii, out in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Right.
And I don't hope much for him. I don't think he's going to come back.
Yeah.
Well,
most of the people that are on the cruise ships are jabbed, aren't they?
What do you mean?
You know, they've had that shot.
Yeah, no, this guy, they don't know whether he's committed suicide
Or it was an
or
accident.
he's fallen overboard, because we've had it before. Over here, people have fallen off a cruise ship, and they said, we don't know how they would fall off a ship. We have high handrails. And one news reporter got on there with a camera, and he got into a room and he walked up and he said, look at this here. And the handrail was below his hip waist.
Oh, yeah. That's not up to code, it doesn't sound like.
And that's what wasn't up to code. And the Australian government jumped right in there. When they send that on a current affair or the news media, the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
And then, as we say, especially, no, hang on, I'm going to find that. There was one story that came up, and you and I were talking about, and I told you about something, and I said there was a video about it, made about it, and there we go. Cane toads.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
You played some of the video about the cane toads.
Yeah, well, that's the one there. That's it. And the other one was Deserts on the Move.
Yeah.
DESERTS, on the move.
But you can get up in trees too, right?
Cane toads, yeah. The price is low, Mama. Yeah. And this other one is Deserts on the Move. What was that other? We were talking about the great floodwaters, weren't we?
The what?
Floodwaters in Australia. Remember that?
Oh, floodwaters, yeah.
Australia's inland floods 2022. There we go. Wall of water. Inland tsunami as dam spills. There you go, that's one there. Flood caused inland sea in central New South Wales. And you can see a four-wheel drive driving through the water of a desert, and the water's going over the top of the bonnet. Well, this is a desert. Then Western Australia had a flood, and it washed the roads away a period of time later. So, I mean, you can easily just type in inland tsunami.
Right.
And if you watch that, I think you'd be quite stunned to see where it was. They actually lost their bridges in the towns. They lost, there's one town there. There's one here. It was a kid pushing a push bike tyre. Pushing a truck tyre down through the park, and it's half full of water. There's one here, you see the dam bursting, and it's gushing over about half a mile wide or a mile wide, and it's just ripping the trees out of the ground.
No.
Below the dam. It's like something out of a bloody horror movie. I don't know if I can play that on the computer. I don't know how to do it. You want me to have a look? I'll see if I can get it up.
Criticism around this morning about warning systems.
Yeah, they just heard that in the background. That way, then it's on the thing. I'll see if I can play it on the computer for you. Let you see it if you want. I'm still trying to learn how to do stuff like this, and people say to me, "Yeah, this is what's." Oh, I know what the problem is. I can't get the bottom of the screen. That's what my problem is.
Yeah.
I can't click. Yeah, the screen on the laptop won't let me push the play button. Let me see if I can just bring this up on the stream. If you lose me, don't panic. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we? My history. That's it. Now let's see if we can bring this. Where is it? Come on, Steve. Load up. Where is it? Yeah. So what's the wife doing? Going to sleep?
Yeah, she's asleep.
I wouldn't blame her. I would too. All right. So there's that one. Oh, TV ad. It just drives me mad. I hate these ads. I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear the ad?
No,
No.
I don't hear anything.
Right. Okay. Let's see if I can bring this in. I'll leave it running. All right. Let's see if I can share screen. Here it comes.
No, I don't see it.
Is it coming through? Can you see it?
No, I don't see it. No, I don't see nothing.
Can you hear it?
No, I don't hear anything either.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
I just see my avatar flashing when I talk.
Damn it. Yeah, I still got to fix this damn thing. That's what I mean. I really got to get back. Damn it. You can hear me now, can't you? Right, you're going to lose me half a
I
minute.
can hear
The only
you.
way for me to get out of this is that I've got to click out of StreamYard and then I've got to come back in again.
Yeah.
So it's just going to go blank. Won't be a sec.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not black. I stand for world peace. I do too. Change my avatar. Let me see. Got all kind of pictures I do. You there? Well, now I have control of your Streamlab, huh?
We're about to meet up with Brad. If you take a look at the newest race for tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 5% tornado risk tomorrow near the Memphis Metro.
A 5% tornado risk for Memphis, huh? Interesting, Chris. I mean,
I'm back. I'm back. And it's raining again. Unbelievable. You got me? At the lunch order, I left him. At lunch. You're gone. I didn't leave you. It's the damn computer. Anyway. Anyway, all right. Well, listen, I'm out to lunch. I don't know where you're going. I'm gonna go have a coffee break, and I'll be back on about 4:00. I'll be back on about 3.5 hours from now. So if anybody wants to come back, I know he's back. Oh, you are back.
The chat.
I lost you.
It's fine in Louisiana.
Creature feature.
You guys are
What? Working again.
It's gonna be okay.
There you go.
4.5
Yeah.
inch.
Oh, it's a stupid damn thing. And we've got somebody else watching, so I don't know if that's your TV set back on again or somebody else is
No, I'm watching the weather. It's they're forecasting tornadoes in Memphis, Tennessee tomorrow, and I'm kind
Is
of
that
close.
near you?
Sorry, that's
Is that
it's new. That is the cross of Boonville.
does a what?
My
Icon.
avatar is the cross of Boonville. It's Boonville is the
Boonville.
city. Boonville.
Oh, you mean it's in Daniel Boone?
Yeah, Boonville. Yeah. Well, it looks like Bonneville.
Oh, it's the same. Well, would that be related to Daniel Boone?
No.
Man, we had Daniel Boone pumped into us as kids like you would not believe. Daniel Boone was a man, just a big man.
But the bear was bigger and he ran like
ran like a nigger.
Yeah.
Hey, I can say it because I'm Australian.
Really? Hey, they say it on the phone, so I can too. There's no words that you can say that I can't say.
Yeah.
That's stupid. If you could say it, I could say it.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, on that Jack show, the whatever they call it, I had to laugh. They sit there and they say, "Oh, you can't say the M word," and I said, "Well, what do you mean, nigger?" I said, "You can say nigger over here." And they go, "Yeah, but hold on, we can't say it on air." I said, "Yes, you can." I said, "Because I'm Australian, and in Australia we have a thing called niggers." And he goes, "Oh God, help me, the YouTube gods! Oh God," he said. I said, "We have a fish over here, a brim, and it's got great big black stripes on it, and they're black, and the black is American Negroes, so they got the nickname niggers." And it's written in Encyclopedia Britannica, niggers,
Right.
niggers, and that's what they're known as, niggers. They don't call them black brim because people expect to see a silver brim turn totally and utterly black. Right? They're not.
Right.
They're silver brim with a big
with
long
black stripes.
Black stripes, so they call them niggers because there's more than one black stripe on them. Niggers, they got the black ers. Anyway.
Yeah.
And mate, I have photographs of brother and I sitting there, and we had a rope about 10 foot long, maybe 12 foot long, and it was just, we put the rope through the fish's mouths and down through the gills and out underneath the chin, and we'd sit there and try and pull the rope and hold them all up. My brother and I was about 12, 13, he was 15, 16, and we virtually couldn't lift it off the ground. We had so many fish on that one bit of rope about 10 foot long, it wasn't funny. We must have had a quarter of a ton of fish. half a ton of fish. We had brim on there 14 inches long. I mean,
wow.
like you know how big your laptop screen is. Well, they're bigger than that.
Right. Well, see,
Right.
the brim here have to be over 12 inches.
Yeah. Well, over here they were 14 to
Yeah,
bloody
that's a nice
2 foot
fish.
long.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then we could stand down. I never thought at the age when I was 10 to take photographs. I should have took photographs because I talked to the local teenagers down here about 9 months ago, down at Hastings Point, which is the back of me. And I said, you see how the waves are nice and blue now? I've got my hands on going like that. I said, you see the waves are nice and blue? I said, yeah. I said, I remember seeing all those waves down there that we could see from the corner shop. I said, how it looks so black. And they said, what do you mean black? And I said, it was full of fish, mullet. And the mullet was so thick, they used to ride through the waves and the wave would look black. There's that many of them. There's millions, millions and millions and millions of mullet. And you'd be sitting there 1 minute, you'd be looking at a wave, you see it's blue. And next thing you know, you see one mullet. Then all of a sudden, this big black wall would come through. And you'd be sitting there as the fish are swimming through the wave for about an hour. So you can just imagine how many fish were swimming through that one section of current in that one wave area of a beach heading north or heading south, you know. You know what I mean? It's millions of fish to do it, you know, just to do that distance. I mean, for that amount of time, you know what I mean? Geez, pardon me. You still there? You there? Have I still got you or have I lost you? Ow, damn it. Have I lost you or have you gone? Hello? Lost him. Outtolunch, you there? Hello? He's not coming through. Outtolunch. Disappeared on me. Oh, I better leave him a note. You there?
I think I am.
Hey, what happened? You went dead.
Well, I was typing on your YouTube.
Sorry?
I was typing on your YouTube channel,
Oh, yeah.
and it timed me out, I think.
I can't go out. Oh, that's interesting. I'm taking you for a walk.
Yeah, that's. I,
Oh,
I want to do a channel like that where I go for a walk and I tell people what I see, but I don't have
well,
time to go.
how about this bloke here? Look, can you see if I can see him? Where is he? He's gone somewhere. Here he is. Hang on.
Oh,
Is he there? Can you see him?
yeah, you feed that dog well.
What's the matter, dog? Oh, yeah, I'm just taking him for. Whoop.
Do you just let your dog go outside and roam?
Yep. Oh, yeah, definitely in this town.
Yeah.
I'm about to show you something. This is going to surprise you. You ready? You're about to see at my back door where I am. Now, I can't really see the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Right, hang on. This is obviously me. Right, we had the Tweed River floodwaters, right?
Right.
And the floodwater was about just on the top of the first wooden step.
Uh,
Can you see that yard?
Yeah.
You see the wires all rolled up where the pink flower is?
Uh,
Way down there. Anyway, all
Right.
that there, all this here was underwater. If I
To the first.
stood here, when the floods were here, my feet would be getting wet.
Right.
That's why there's no window.
Right.
And that's what happens. All out there is just going underwater.
Oh.
And all those cars over there, now, where am I
Yeah.
going?
Yeah, I
Yep.
see them.
Yeah, they're all underwater.
Were they?
Yep, they were all underwater. And he hasn't moved them because he can't move them. They're full
Right.
of water. They're still full of water.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that. Yeah.
And
See. Yeah.
that house over there, you see it's got the steel beam.
Yeah.
That's the floor of their house. And then if you look down, you see it's on pylons. The same as over here.
Right.
And yet the river is way across the road. On the other side. Oh shit, I'm getting giddy. Ooh. I'm getting off of you. Oh man, I get giddy standing out there. I do. It's too bloody high for me. Hang on a sec. I just got to put my laptop down on top of the washing machine. I'm walking through the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wasn't here then. Chris was, and just fix that up a bit. So anybody else watches this, people are going to say, "Oh, I know where he is now."
Some lurker might be able to.
No, I'd love to see him try and find me. I mean, it's not the sort of thing you can. But what I'll do, we'll go for a walk.
Did I lose you? Yeah.
Hang on.
All right. No. I got you.
The other phone cuts in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run off that. I dropped it on the floor. So I'll put that in my pocket. So if I do drop out, I'll just reactivate it.
Well.
Yeah, I keep thinking I didn't have any pants on, but I do. I got bloody these
short.
Yeah, these very soft basketball shorts on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't feel them because my legs are numb. And I keep thinking, oh shit, I'm naked. And then I look down and say, oh no, I'm not. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. I'll just put that mouse under my finger. Just tell me exactly what I'm doing. As you can see, I'm shutting the door. Now this here, this is the stairs I had to learn to walk down there. 1, 2,
down with the
3,
bad knee, right?
4, 5.
I lost you.
6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stairs. There you go. I think you can see that. That's how far I just had to walk down. You can see what I'm looking at. You see it? Oh, shit. Here comes the bloody rain again. Anyway, we go for a walk over here anyway. Yeah, I think it's just nice to take you for a walk and let you see what this part of Australia looks like. It's very peaceful. It's just starting to get wet, so I'll leave the camera on the laptop and I'll turn it around. That's our local park.
Yeah, that's nice. From what
Yeah. All that there was underwater. You got to remember, where I'm standing here was underwater,
right,
to the floor of that house.
right.
See, I would have been underwater. And over here, you can see it goes, there comes the car. And we'll walk over here and I'll show you how far away the river was. So basically, I'm taking you for a walk. Isn't that nice?
It's
Getting a
like
good
being
view.
there. Yeah.
Well,
I,
see, you can see the hills run down into the houses. That's
yeah.
still all flood damage. That's still all from the floods last year. And this big thing over here across the park is the flood wall, which I filmed on my channel.
Mm.
And people don't realize
I'm losing you now.
that.
You're losing some signal. You you glitching. You're too far from Wi-Fi. You still there? I can't hear you.
You can see
The
the
screen,
tar,
the screen
gravelly sort of
froze.
stuff. They've had to do that because I'm guessing part of the
You're back. You froze up. You froze up.
Right, you got me back. I'm back. I'm back. Good. I'm on the mobile internet now. So good. You can come back in. When you're ready, you can come back in. I'm live now on the mobile one. If you can find me. I had to take the house internet off, and I had to put in the mobile phone. So at lunch, I'm back. Let me guess. I've got to hit the. Okay, I'm going to put an invite up anyway. So whoever wants to come in, Hominoids on the walkabout, and you're back. There you go. I'll paste it. By all means, come in. It's on the stream. Hominoid is walking around trying to avoid the rain clouds. And we're over here in the park. This is interesting. First time. And here we go. Let's have a look. There's the guy up there with his motorhome. And there's a beautiful Tweed River, which when it floods. And that over there on my back is the wall. That's the wall that keeps all the floodwater out from knocking all the buildings down. And way down there is Mount Warning. Yeah. And people park the caravans here, not realising that they would float away. Yeah, you're still there. And come back when you're ready. Unfortunately, I've got nowhere to sit. Yeah, someone's there. Yeah, come on, there you go. Look, Tweed River. Hang on. I'll put the laptop down on the ground. It's so hard to hold the laptop, it's not funny. And we'll just have a look around. I've never done anything like this. I've usually got a table or a park bench or something. And a new leg. Pardon you. There we go. That way down over there's Mount Warning, beyond the clouds. And that's what we call the Great Green Belt. As you can see over there, it's that wall over there is the heights of the floodwaters. Just going to look at my screen. I said my mate's come back, and he has. Trying to do this. Sorry, at lunch. I'm coming. Gotcha. Got me back. There you go. There you go. I'm actually standing up, looking down at the computer.
I remember that one. And
You got me?
You got winds moving out of the
You're there.
Here, so
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Hey,
Okay.
how do you look that for a fishing spot?
Well, I think you've. Well, I'm on.
Fish.
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah. Can
Maybe
you
I
see the
won't.
fish jumping?
Yeah.
There's fish
Oh, that's
jumping out
nice.
there in the river.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'll hold the camera out there. He was jumping out of the water.
Yeah.
Am I on the water or am I on the mountain? I can't see what I'm looking at.
You're on the. That's a nice scenery right there. That's nice. Wow, look at the mountains.
And there's caravans.
Wow.
These caravans here would be a yard underwater if the floodwater was here.
Right.
So they wouldn't be
Right.
here. They'd be floating down the river.
Yeah.
That's how deep it gets. Yeah, this is actually the floodwater barricade. This actually stops the main current pushing into town. And over there, there's two kids riding their bikes. And where that orange thing is, it's a temporary barricade on the floodgates. There's a now. How am I going to do this? I've got to pick up the laptop and a mouse, and I'm going to try and then look at a little tiny screen. So hang on a sec.
In the sunlight.
Yeah, in the sunlight. Doesn't really make
Yeah.
it much easier.
That's not gonna help much.
And also there with a brand new knee. Yeah, so I dropped the mouse a bit. Right. Yeah, you see the boys should be, I can't zoom in anyway, but they're riding their bikes along the barricade wall. So you got the water, the green grass, and then there's a painted wall, blue, yellow, green, and that's called the dam frontal, the current frontal wall.
Okay.
And what that does, it just stops the actual current ripping into all those houses over there.
Right.
So the water ricochets off it, but the floodwater still goes, pardon me, into the stormwater drain, like where that big tree is over there. There's a stormwater drain. Same as here, there's one there. Because when it rains here, it runs down there underneath those trees. And there's a pipe, and that lets the rainwater run back out into the river. But when the river fills up, that's where it comes up, is in amongst those trees.
Right.
And it fills up like a pond. And then it eventually comes out up here and builds up and builds up. And that's why the houses are up there on stilts.
Oh, still, yeah.
And that's why. It's what they call a controlled flooding. Yeah. So there you go. You can see how old these places are. You can see where they've been raised up. They put a deck on the back of that one, another deck on the back of that one. There's two decks. I think, can you see that? Is that coming up?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See the big steel posts down there on the ground? Are they coming up in the picture?
Steel posts. I don't see them. Oh, those? Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they got ripped out in the floods.
Oh, what do they do? Is that
That's
protect
what
that
holds the
post?
house up. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's what holds the house up.
Oh, okay. You're freezing up a little bit.
Yeah. Shouldn't drop out because, because I'm walking. Probably because it's going to jump back to the house internet.
Right.
Because that's me over that way. So I'm not going to show my own house. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I
There's
mean,
crazy people there.
oh,
You're
mainly
crazy.
over there in America. Look at that.
They-
I just got run over.
You did. You
No.
you
not really.
one of them BLM activists protesting in the street.
Yeah. See
You
that
super
old car
glued your
there?
hands to the road.
See that old car there? That's a 1977 model.
No, right. Well,
The wreck car sitting there with all the junk.
oh,
Yeah, that's 1977.
I see. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see how quiet this town is, can't you?
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's a very quiet town. Where I used to live in Sydney, see over there, so you can see the mountains between the houses, you know.
Yeah.
And all the roads are good condition. There's no holes in them.
Yeah.
So there's no potholes. There's nothing like that. My legs start to swell up.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes a bin chicken.
What is that? A bin chicken?
A bin chicken. It's a bloody ibis bird.
Oh,
And if the rubbish bin didn't have a lid on it, like a public bin,
right.
They get into the bins and they rip everything out. There he is there. Can you see it? It's a white bird. See it?
On the street. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ibis.
Black kid.
IBIS. Yeah, we call it a bin chicken.
A bin chicken.
Yeah, because it's like a big chicken.
Yeah.
And it'll get into your rubbish bin and it just rips everything out. And they're a pest in Sydney because when we had the big droughts in Sydney, they'd get in the bins and throw out plastic bags like we're talking about, green plastic bags. And
right.
Oh shit, here comes the rain. I've got to open. Yeah, this is the stairs. I've got to get my leg to walk up. So I'm trying to go, see, I can go one after the other, as you can tell, walking up. But going down, I can't do it. I'm still learning. And I'll just stick you there for a minute. I'll open the door. That's my girlfriend. She's barking at me.
When I was in rehab for my broken leg, they said down with the bad and up with the good.
Yep.
Yeah. But I do barking. I try to remind myself for when I'm out, stepping down and stepping up. But I forget. I say it to myself, but I still go down with my right. I don't know.
I figure. I'm just trying to spot her.
Slow beans, slow keys.
Yep.
Doing it.
Oh, anyway, I just got myself a little bit wet.
That's your exercise for today.
Yeah, I'm puffing and panting. I might give myself a half-hour break. And
who cuts your yard? Do you cut your own yard?
Yeah. Oh, he does. Yeah, the guy who runs the house.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, we don't use a push mower. We use a ride-on lawnmower.
Riding, yeah.
Because all that green grass you're seeing out the back door.
I imagine it's thick.
Oh, no, it's not thick. It's like that. It's, you know.
What does that mean?
You can't push up it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I've got a self-propelled one I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. We're getting another message popped up. Hang on. Let me just have a look. Was that you? Oh, you froze. Oh. Yeah, that was your message. I don't know what happened here. I thought other people from another channel were going to join in, but they didn't. But anyway. Anyway, I've got to get ready. I've got to get down to the doctor's in about an hour's time. I'll let you go to bed. I hope you like that little walk.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
that's part of I don't get to see Australia very much other than Google Maps.
Yeah, well, it's not the same thing, is it? Because I'm walking across the park and you walk right up there to the water and you look at the trees and sort of understand how it works. You know, it is a flood town. Flood water comes up, hits and goes around the bend, and the town fills up with water to pressurise it. So the pressure of the flood water doesn't lean against the brick wall. If it leaned against the brick wall, it'd knock it over. So therefore, then they're going to let the water rise up equal either side, and that holds the brick wall. So there's no pressure on the brick wall. It just stops the current coming in.
Right.
Because there's another boundary wall over the other side of the river that goes towards the mountain. So basically, it's like filling up a coffee cup from underneath the bottom of the coffee cup and equalising it either side of the wall. And that's basically what it is. And when the river goes down, the town water goes down. And then it goes right down, as you've seen in the video, as you're seeing now back there on the stream, you see how low down it gets.
Well, if you had a car, how far away would you have to go to keep your car from flooding?
About
You got to go
half a mile that way.
uphill.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
mate, there's plenty of hills. I mean, the other side of town, where that brick wall is, the water there fills up the car park underneath the Return Servicemen's Leagues Club, but it does not go into the club. It comes up, fills up underneath its pylons. And then
Right,
everything
right.
in the park goes underwater. And like now, they're still rebuilding the community centre. They rebuilt that, and then they're rebuilding the building next door to that, which is on my channel down there, which you can see. They're still nearly finished that. That's pouring down there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Here, once. Let's show you. Go for a look. You can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pouring.
Yeah.
That's just what you look at. So you can hear it. And all that there, that's his backyard. He's got to mow that with a ride-on lawnmower because it goes right up to the other house. That's his backyard.
Right.
Yeah. And that's how big it is. You've got to go out there and mow it. But I don't mow it because I can't sit on a mower. That's his yard. That's his yard anyway. So it's his mower. So if I broke it, I've got to pay for it. Yeah. So that's what I said. That's why I started heading for the door. I said, oh, the rain's coming.
We
All right. I'll let you go.
I sure appreciate it. I enjoyed tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow sometime, maybe, eh?
Yeah. No worries. By all means. Come on in.
All right, young man.
No,
I gotta go. Have a good
okay,
night.
see you, mate. Good night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
Yeah, I don't have
See
there
ya.
it is.
just say good day, mate. We don't say sir over here. We just say good night, mate. Anyway, I appreciate the sir bit. Makes you feel good. It is very polite. I love Americans. They're so polite. They're a lovely guy. So let's out to lunch over there around Tennessee somewhere. I'm not going to ask personally. Anyway, for me, Mr. Ominoid, have a good evening. And it's lunchtime over here, 1 o'clock and now 1:10 So you have a good day. Have a good night. Maybe get your dog and cat spaded and neutered. If you get depression from suicide, don't forget you can always ring up Lifeline or whatever in your local area, in your own country, 000 in Australia, 999 in England, 911 in America, and get help. Anyway, remember Solominoid, I hope you enjoy that little walk. And if you are a local and you recognise where I am, leave me a comment. Say, oh, hello, you're in my town. Leave me a comment. Love to hear from you. So from me, Miss Ominoid, thanks very much. See you later. Have a good night. Keep a smile on your face.